Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to talk about HTTPS and SSL certificates and why it's important for your website to use one today. Recently, Google announced that having a website that has HTTPS is going to be a ranking factor for search engine optimization. This is important because it's one thing that you can control that will potentially give you a better opportunity to rank well within Google. And the fact that Google's telling you directly, is a sign that it's something you should be doing. All right, so what is HTTPS? Typically when you visit a website, you'll see HTTP, in the URL bar. And that just means it's the standard URL. It's not encrypted. When you have the S, that means it's secured encryption and your data is being encrypted in transit. So this is a lot more secure. It's better in terms of ensuring your user credentials and your traffic is not being easily monitored. And also, if you're doing stuff like purchasing stuff online, you want to make sure that information is secure and encrypted. All right, so how do you get an SSL certificate? Well, the first way to do so is you can visit a website called let'sencrypt.org. It's a free automated and open certificate authority and is backed by some very large names in the industry. These are some of the sponsors and people behind it. So Chrome is behind it, obviously, so that means Google's behind it, and you'll recognize some of these other names here as well. So this goes to show you that, price is not a major factor if you can get a certificate for free. So you can read the Get Started documentations and to see how you can implement Let's Encrypt's SSL certificate with your website. If for some reason your hosting provider doesn't support the Let's Encrypt SSL certificate, you can always purchase a SSL certificate from us over at Pix and Web Domains, and we sell SSL certificates as well. But basically, I recommend you definitely check out the free options first because they should be supported by the vast majority of hosting providers. All right, so once you get your SSL certificate and you get it, set up for your site and you want to use it on WordPress, there's some things you can do. Now, the very simple measure you can take is go to the WordPress repository and identify some of the plugins that are specifically made to help you implement the SSL for your website. There's one plugin right here, Really Simple SSL. As you can see, it's installed on over 100,000 plus active installations, has been updated 4 days ago, has 5-star reviews, and has a lot of people reviewing it. And it's very simple to get started with, no setup required. You only need an SSL certificate, and this plugin will do the rest. That makes it very simple, to get started with it. So you can take a look at this plugin, and I'll show you how to install it on my local development environment. Now, warning, this is on my local server, so I'm not going to be able to walk you through the whole entire process. I just want to show you the basic steps involved. Another plugin option is the SSL Insecure Content Fixer. So this cleans up a WordPress website with insecure content, meaning, if your site's been around for a while, maybe you have images or links or things of that nature that are directing traffic to a non-secure URL. Well, this will fix that up for you. It's a great way to, to take care of all of that with just a plugin and not having to worry about code. Another one is the WP Force Ssl, and this is the last of the plugins I'll be reviewing and demonstrating, but it's one that you should definitely check out. And it's another one that just redirects all traffic from HTTP to HTTPS. And now, if you're adventurous and you're comfortable with code, then you may want to see some code options that you have. And I only recommend this for people who are comfortable with code, who understand how to properly insert the code, FTP it up to their servers, and also to revert from a backup if a mistake is made. This next option is only for people who are more comfortable working with code. All right, so I'm going to go to my text editor. I'm on my local server. So if you want to have SSL for your site, you can insert this code here in your htaccess file. So you would have the if module mod_rewrite (C), and then the closing if module tag here. So this is the opening tag, this is the closing tag. Make sure you have it inserted correctly. And then you're going to have the rewrite engine on, rewrite conditional, and then you're going to use server port 80 and rewrite rule, and then you're going to have it redirected to HTTPS. And then obviously you would change this here to whatever your domain name is. But this is a small snippet of code you would insert into your htaccess file that will help you with having SSL on your site. Now for your wp-config file, you would need to insert code like this. There's define, and then you would have your parentheses, opening parentheses and closing right here. Inside there you would put single quotation marks, and then in uppercase force _SSL _admin, and then comma, and then true. So this is a Boolean value. You always end your PHP statement with a semicolon. So you would have this line of code right there in your wp-config.php file. Again, take a backup of your database, of your files. In case something goes wrong, you can revert to a backup, but this is pretty simple to implement. And you would just place it right above this section here where it's commented out, says, "That's all, stop editing, happy blogging." So you would put this snippet of code right there. All right, so I'm just going to comment this out because again, I'm on my local server. And I'm going to go back to my htaccess file, and I'm going to remove this here, but just take a moment, write this down, jot this down if you want to use this on your server. All right, so I'm going to delete that, bring this back up, save the file, and let me go back to my browser. All right, so now I showed you the 3 plugins you could use and the location that you can go to get an SSL certificate. Now I want to show you how, to install the plugins on your website. All right, so again, this is not going to be a 100% walkthrough. I apologize for that, but I don't have websites at the moment that need to have it migrated to SSL. So bear with me for now. This is just a partial demonstration. All right, so I'm on my local host. I'm going to go to the dashboard. I'm going to go to plugins and then add new. And then the 3 plugins I'm looking for, this is one of them, really simple SSL. I'll just paste that into the search field there. And you're going to see it comes up right here, the first one. I'm going to install it. I'm not going to activate it yet because I want to go through the other ones as well. So I'll just go back here. I'll grab this. You see that one's already installed. Now over here, I'll just paste that in. And the first one should be that one again. All right, perfect. I'll install that. Then I'll go back here. That's installed. And I'll replace that with this. And then it'll automatically search. And it's the first one there as well. So I'll install. All right, so now that's installed. So now I'm going to go back to the installed plugins. I'm going to do this one by one. So let me start with the first one, really simple SSL. Again, you would need an SSL certificate to get started. This is just a partial demonstration. So you would just activate it. And then I'm getting this notice up here because I do not have an SSL for my local server, obviously. But pretty much you would just be installing this plugin and activating it, and then you'll be presented with a question to enable the SSL. And if you go back to the really simple SSL documentation here, on installation it says go to plugins in your WordPress admin, then click activate. You will now see a notice asking you to enable SSL. Click it and log in again. You'll have to log in again because it'll log you out of your session. And then you're done. Very simple. All right. So now we're going to go to the settings section, see what's available there. And of course, there's no SSL detected. So we're getting this warning. But let's take a look at the settings. And then it's saying settings to optimize your SSL configuration, auto replace mixed content. That's a good thing to do if you want to debug it. And if you want to stop editing the htaccess file, you can do that as well. If you want to set up the debug mode, you can do that as well. To view results here, enable the debug options in the settings tab right here. So you just enable that. All right, so that's pretty much it. You would activate it and then you would set it up. Very easy to do. All right, so let me go back to my plugins. I'm going to deactivate this one. And then I'm going to activate the SSL Insecure Content Fixer. All right, so now I activated that one. We can go to the settings section, and then this is the settings page for that. You get to choose what you want to focus on. Select the level of fixing. Try the simple level first. Has the least impact on your website performance. So you can try that first. And then you can go down the list to see what else you want to play around with. If you have content inside the pages or in post or text widgets, you can take care of that by using these options. If you want to use the capture option, capture all. You can go down this option list and see which one, is applicable for you and your website. Again, the recommendations to start off with simple and then go from there, test out your website, make sure everything still works, and make sure you're not getting a mixed content type warning in the URL. So that's one way to do it. And it's very simple to use with this plugin. All right, so I'm going to go back to plugins, installed, and I'm going to deactivate this one. And now I'm going to go to WP Force Ssl. And then this one, gives you this page that talks about some of the things you need. Of course, you need the SSL, but pretty much you just install it and activate it, and it's done. It'll take care of everything for you. So it's very simple to use, very user-friendly. So again, you just need to get an SSL certificate. And I do apologize for not being able to demonstrate on a live website. This is just a walkthrough of the 3 plugins that you could use to have SSL on your website. Or if you want to use code, I will bring that code back here for a second just to show you. This is for the htaccess file. This will redirect all HTTP to HTTPS, and this goes in your htaccess file. And in your wp-config file, it's this snippet of code uncommented right here that will force SSL for the admin section. All right, so hopefully this video helped, where I demonstrated how to use either code or a plugin to implement SSL and HTTPS on your website. You want to have this where it says secure. This is my website. You would have this, and it means it's secure. You would see they also have it, and other websites have it as well. All right, so hopefully you found this episode helpful. I just wanted to introduce you to the 3 plugins that you could use to make it easy to implement and utilize SSL HTTPS on your website, your WordPress powered website, and also some code that you could use to help you with the process as well. If you found the video helpful, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'll give you more tips and tricks on how to manage your WordPress powered website and how to ensure its peak performance, security, and most importantly of all, a good user experience. So don't forget, thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care.